Dear students, welcome to Swayam SHIKSHAA. Welcome to our mains Maniac series. Now, this is basically today's question is GS3, which is a 150 word question. Now, first of all, after reading the question, we'll try to understand what is the common mistake generally we do for such questions. So this was a 2020 question. So the question is, what are the challenges and opportunities of food processing sector in the country? How can income of farmers be substantially increased by encouraging food processing? Now, always we have to remember for such questions, we have to divide the question into different parts. One is, if you can observe, challenges, then we have opportunities. Then there's one more part of the question which we generally ignore. That is basically the income part. So if you see, how can processing substantially increase the income, which is very important, that we generally do not mention. So that area has to be focused. Now we can start off with a small introduction talking about what is processing, food processing, where the processes of the raw material, whether it is agriculture, fisheries, poultry, meat, through a process can be converted, okay, into a transformed product. And now this transformed product has one commercial value, number one. Number two, it is made suitable for human and animal consumption. So processing is a mechanism where the physical properties of the product will change and the transformed product will have commercial value as well as it is suitable for human or animal consumption. A small introduction, and then we can write an linking paragraph like something like, since India is an agrarian economy, India has a natural advantage in terms of building its processing industries, which can generate employment, and that is the reason food processing sector is characterized as a sunshine sector. Okay, so which can contribute to growth as well as employment. Now the most important area, that is the challenges. Now this part, what are the main challenges? There are many challenges of processing industries. One is we have a lot of problems with respect to our efficiency because of fragmented land holdings. So these are basically, we can term them as supply side bottlenecks. For such questions, remember side headings is the key. So supply side bottlenecks. Then we have problems of economies of scale. Why we have problems of economies of scale? Because most of the processing industries are in unorganized sector. And so when you're not operating on a mass scale, you'll have problems of economies of scale. So when we have problems of economies of scale, obviously you will lose out with respect to prices when it comes to foreign competition, or we cannot sustain the competition from multinational companies. Okay. Similarly, demand side, of course, there's huge demand, but still there's untapped demand from the rural area. So there are some aspects or some problems with respect to that rural demand creation. Then another important challenge is the infrastructure bottlenecks. Because of improper road port connectivity and infrastructure issues, 30% of the food produced is basically wasted. So this is a big challenge which has to be handled. Another important aspect is lack of credit and lack of entrepreneurship. So lack of entrepreneurship is basically, we do not have, one is people who have the technical skills. Number two, we don't have people who can take risk. So basically risk averse. So lack of entrepreneurship and lack of credit facilities easily available. That is also a challenge that is there for him. And one more important problem is, due to multiplicity of legislations, there is overlap. So when we talk about Food Safety Standards Authority of India, now are we in line with international standards, etc. Then when you're focusing on exports, we have challenges of sanitary and phytosanitary measures where we have to abide by the rules of WTO, etc. So these are all challenges, and moreover, the biggest challenge for food processing is the challenges with respect to the agriculture part. Okay, so this is one part of the question. Then the another important part in this question is the opportunities part. So what are the main opportunities when we talk about the processing industries here? Okay, so one is, by 2024, it is expected that the processing industries is going to attract around $33 billion investment. So when investment comes up, there's huge scope for infrastructure development and creation of employment as well. So that is one important aspect. Okay, and then when we talk about another important aspect here is nutritional security. So when we talk about people with problems like diabetes, etc. So ensuring nutritional security. Another important aspect is processing India, this huge scope, agrarian economy, and if we can increase our exports, we can increase foreign exchange. Along with increasing foreign exchange, processing sectors can create employment and reduce our current account deficits. So it's a very important employment generating sector. So that could be the side heading there. Okay. And then food inflation is the biggest challenge presently also during COVID and after COVID especially. So curbing food inflation, the processing industries can definitely help in terms of curbing food inflation. And another important opportunity is by 2030, annual household consumption is going to be tripled. Now, it's a huge opportunity and there's a lot of untapped market. Now, this untapped market has to be tapped. It's a huge opportunity. So, these are some of the important opportunities. Now, the most important part of the question, which we generally neglect, is the link of food processing and income of farmers. This is what is asked in the question, which is the second part of the question, which is very, very important, which we generally neglect. Now, how do I link up? See, one aspect is, since food processing sectors can directly get linked with farmers, or since we can eliminate middlemen, it can help with respect to increasing farmers' income, number one. So that's one area. Second important area is government programs with respect to mega food parks, etc., where we have these processing units which are in tie-up with the farmers. So the raw material has to be supplied by the farmers. So thereby it's a huge opportunities for farmer to increase their income. Number two. Another important aspect is this sector, like the sunrise industries like food processing, is going to definitely create opportunities of employment. It is going to reduce rural employment, reduce rural unemployment problem, or we can say it is going to definitely reduce the problem of disguised unemployment. Okay, and food processing, since it's an interlinking sector between agriculture and manufacturing, definitely it will have an added advantage with respect to the manufacturing sector. And food processing sector, since it's a labor intensive sector, it leads to localization of employment and again increase with respect to farmers' income. So farmers added additional income other than just farming. So that is something which is very, very important. And another important aspect is when we talk about high yield variety seeds, basically these high yield variety seeds have a problem of shelf life, etc. So that can also be handled by the processing industries, thereby improving or increasing farmers' income. So this is the second or the third part of the question, and the most importantly for such 150 words questions, a small conclusion, that is, India, since India has an opportunity, India can use its excess production, or food processing provides an opportunity to utilize this excess production efficiently. And since India being an agrarian country, India has to leverage its potential with respect to food processing and become an integral part of the global value chain. It can become an integral part of global value chain by leveraging its potential of food processing industries. That can be a very decent conclusion for this question. I hope you like this video. Please do subscribe to our channel, and for these slides, join our Telegram channel Swayam SHIKSHAA. And most importantly, please do comment in the comment box, and we'll also come up with essays. So do you need essay guidance, etc.? What kind of essays, or what kind of approach, etc.? So please do comment. Your comments are very valuable and your comments will give us a boost. Okay, so signing off. Thank you.